Hello, operator. Can you please connect me with OTR Halloween Holidays? I don't want to miss this episode of the Ghoulie Show.
Now for our story. An original tale of fantasy by Richard Thorne entitled The Demon of the Night. There are two ways of looking at it. Either one believes that they died accidentally from natural causes, or else we have to admit that there was something in the darkness waiting for them. Waiting for anyone who would be unsuspecting enough to walk alone at night. I leave it up to you. Decide for yourself whether Raphael Sebastian was a maniacal killer, or whether he was what so many people have called him, a creature of the darkness, spawned in the mind of evil in the darkness of night, running on all fours to leap upon his unsuspecting victim. He came to our town on the midnight train. Why I happened to be there at the station, I attribute to restlessness. Sheriff Craig was there, too. Who's that? Ken Parker, Sheriff.
What are you doing down here?
I couldn't sleep.
She's right on time.
Yeah.
Why'd you come down here?
I don't know. Figured I might as well walk down to the station and see who might be getting off the midnight train.
Then you knew he was coming tonight.
Who was coming?
Sebastian.
You mean the man who bought the old Glamour place?
That's right.
No, I didn't know. I'm kind of anxious to see him. It was funny the way he bought the place, wasn't it?
Yeah. Calling up at night when the real estate office was shut down. Having old Matt Ryerson describe the place to him over the phone. Then mailing a check from Matt. Kind of anxious to see how it looks.
Now, here's the train.
Right on time.
Look back at the last car. Someone's getting off.
Yeah, must be him.
Looking around. Supposed to meet him.
Oh, he's coming this way. Maybe we can help him. Mr. Sebastian. You looking for someone?
I set my servant on the hay. He's supposed to meet me here.
Guess he's late. I'm the sheriff. Al Craig's my name. This here's Ken Parker.
I'm pleased to meet you. How do you do? Did you come down here to see me?
Yes and no.
What do you mean by that?
I was kind of interested in you. I mean, the way you bought the old Glamour place and everything. I wanted to see the man who bought it over the telephone. And besides, I couldn't sleep.
Who told you I was coming?
Old Matt Ryerson, the real estate agent.
And you, Mr. Parker, why did you come down? I don't know, Mr. Sebastian. I guess I couldn't sleep either. Well, it's rather late. You should not... Oh, here he comes. I must talk to him about being late. It's been very pleasant meeting you, gentlemen. I hope that we may meet again quite soon.
Thank you, Mr. Sebastian. I imagine we'll be seeing you around.
I imagine you will, Sheriff. Good night.
Good night. I get a funny feeling about that man, Ken.
How do you mean?
I can't explain it. His eyes look sort of funny. And his hands. Did you notice his hands?
Yes, I did.
Notice how they were just covered with hair? Thick and furry, just like an animal.
I was a little surprised that the sheriff had fastened upon the same things I had. There was only one light on the deserted station platform, but Raphael Sebastian had stopped directly beneath it while he waited for his car. There was something strange about his eyes. But the thing which had sent an unaccountable tremor of fear through me was his hands. They were small hands, graceful and well-formed. They were covered with a thick coating of hair, and as Craig had said, they did remind one of the fur of an animal. Perhaps I should mention that I owned the paper in this small town we live in. It was always news to us to note the departures and arrivals in the town. So I knew that Saturday, when the Gazette came out, it would have an item about Sebastian's arrival. Both Sheriff Craig and I lived in the outskirts of the town. So I drove him back to his house and stopped in for a cup of coffee.
I hope you don't mind it being a little strong.
That's the way I like it, Sheriff.
Sue always makes it so weak I can't stand to drink the stuff. Tastes like dirty dishwater. Cream and sugar?
No, I like it black.
Appreciate the flavor, huh? So do I. Paper getting along all right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing a good job since your father died, Ken. I didn't...
Listen.
Yeah. I hear it.
Must be a dog.
Ain't no dog. No dog ever howls like that.
And what is it?
Haven't been any of those critters anywhere near here in a long time.
You mean that's a wolf?
That's what it is. Shot a lot of them when I was young.
Probably out looking for food.
Maybe.
There it is again.
Kind of gives you the creeps, don't it?
A little.
Sounds like a big one. Maybe we'd better go up.
What was that?
I don't know. It sounded like a window breaking. Isn't any mistake in that sound? That was a scream. Come on.
Right. The only other house out here is Widow Brady's.
Scream must have come from there then. Don't see any lights on.
That definitely came from her house.
I know it. Mrs. Brady!
Maybe the door's unlocked.
No, she always leaves it locked. Mrs. Brady! Listen, sounds like an animal. Come on. We're going to break this door open. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. In together.
Let's do it again.
She's sleeping on the first floor bedroom. Just follow me.
Mrs. Brady.
The light's right here. Mrs. Brady. Some animal must have been in here. Look at her. It's a horrible way to die.
We'll return to the tale of the Demon of the Night in just a moment. Back now to the Hall of Fantasy and the tale of the Demon of the Night. I had stopped at Sheriff Craig's house for a late cup of coffee. We had just returned from the station, and our first meeting had brought the ill Sebastian. The scream had echoed in the night. We raced outside to see what was wrong. What we found was death.
That wolf again.
You think that wolf killed Mrs. Brady?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it?
What are you going to do?
That animal's got to be killed. That's what I'm going to do.
Craig went out by himself that night in an attempt to track the animal. But though the tracks were quite clear outside the broken window, it was impossible to follow them. By morning, a light rain had sprung up, and all traces of the tracks disappeared. I was at the paper the following day, getting everything ready to go to press.
Ken.
Oh, Alice, I'm sorry, darling. I didn't see you come in.
I'm beginning to feel jealous of that typewriter. What are you writing now?
Well, the story of what happened last night.
It's already all over the town.
Yes, I know. But they'll read about it just the same.
Matt Ryerson told me that an animal had killed Mrs. Brady.
That's right.
He said something about a big wolf. Is that true?
As far as Craig and I know.
Oh, they'd better catch the animal and kill it, Ken. The town's getting panicky.
Well, Craig was going to trail it, but when the rain came this morning, there wasn't any trail to follow.
Oh, it's not raining now.
Well, don't you see, Alice? The rain washed the tracks away.
You two talking over your marriage plan?
No, Sheriff. We were talking about what happened last night.
I thought you might be different. Whole town's talking about that.
Anything new, Sheriff?
Not a thing. Town's getting all head up about it. I don't like it.
Anything I can do for you, Sheriff?
Yeah, Ken, I'm going out to see that Sebastian fella. Want to come along?
Of course.
Sebastian?
Came in last night on the midnight train.
Well, what are you going out to see him for?
Just to see him, that's all.
Sheriff Craig and I went out to his car, got in, and drove out to the old Glaymore mansion. It was a few miles out of town, well back from the highway. We turned into the gravel road that led to the house. It'll be pretty nice to see this old place fixed up. Certainly gone to ruin since Glaymore died.
It will be nice to see it fixed up, but
But what?
Yeah, I don't know. This killing's got me down.
Don't worry, Craig. You'll get the wolf.
I hope so.
Well, we're here.
Now, let's go.
All right. All that rain this morning has certainly turned into a nice day.
Kind of a day I like to go fishing.
Yeah, me too.
I guess that servant of his must have come out early to get the house in order. Use the knocker kit.
Good afternoon, Sheriff.
Afternoon, Mr. Sebastian.
Are you here on business?
A little.
Won't you come in then?
Thanks.
You certainly cleaned it up in here.
My servant Carlos was here for some time. Sit down if you will, huh? Now, what can I do for you?
Last night, when you were driving out here, did you see or hear anything?
I don't understand.
Like a wolf.
A wolf?
That's right.
No, I didn't. Why do you ask?
We had a killing in town last night.
You mean someone was murdered?
Yes. By a wolf. At least that's what we think it is.
What happened? Was someone out walking?
No, the wolf broke through a window to enter the house.
Oh, that sounds impossible to believe.
Yeah, I know. I just want to warn you, living way out here the way you do, to make sure you have plenty of protection.
Oh, do not worry, Sheriff. I am able to protect myself. Did the animal leave any trail?
Yes.
He did.
Yeah, but I couldn't follow it in the dark. And when it was light enough to see, a storm started and washed out the tracks.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, you keep your eyes open, Mr. Sebastian.
I will, Sheriff.
Come on, Ken, let's go.
We went outside, got into the car, and started back to town. We'd driven for about 5 minutes before I realized that something was different about Sebastian. I think Sheriff Craig realized it at the same time. Sheriff?
What?
I just thought of something.
So did I.
You notice his hands?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, too.
There was no hair on them at all. I thought we must have been mistaken the night before, but then I wasn't so sure. Both Sheriff Craig and I had seen his hands the night before. Both of us couldn't be mistaken. We didn't have much time for further speculation, however. I had to get back to the paper. I was behind in my work, and I had to make up for lost time. About 8 o'clock that evening, Alice came down to help me. We worked steadily until almost 11.
You all through?
Yeah. What time is it?
Oh, almost 11.
Well, I'd better get you home. Finish up in the morning.
Well, I can go home alone if you want to stay here, Ken.
No, Alice, I don't want you out in the streets now, not where there's any chance of that animal returning. Let's go.
I've never seen the town look so deserted at 11 o'clock.
You're all afraid.
Oh, look, there's Sheriff Craig.
The sheriff.
Hello, Ken.
I see you're wearing 2 guns, Sheriff.
That's right. Not going to take any chances. You walking Alice home, Ken?
Yes.
Well, I might as well go along with you. Everybody must be staying inside.
No, not everybody, Sheriff. Look up there. Isn't that Matt Ryerson?
I can't see too well. We need more streetlights in this town.
Listen.
Yes, I heard it.
I don't like this.
There's an animal up there. It's tearing him to pieces.
No, it's running away now.
Missed him, doggone it.
Matt, are you all right?
With a human face. He's dead.
Did you hear what he said, Ken? He said a wolf with a human face.
You are listening to the tale of the Demon of the Night on this week's journey down the corridors of the Hall of Fantasy. We'll return to our story in just a moment. Back now to our story. An original tale of fantasy by Richard Thorne entitled The Demon of the Night.
Sheriff Craig and I were walking out his home. It was after 11. The streets were deserted and dark. Old Matt Ryerson lay on the ground where he had fallen after the attack. Before our eyes, he died.
Did you hear what he said, Ken? He said a wolf with a human face.
I heard what he said.
That thing out there in the darkness, whatever it is, it's got to be killed.
What do you mean, Sheriff? Whatever it is.
Just what I said.
You think it's something besides a wolf?
Well, I don't know for sure.
What are we going to do with him?
There's nothing much we can do. Isn't a pretty sight, is it? I guess I'll call Simmons. Then we'll drop you off, Alice.
And then what?
You'll come along, Ken. Then you and I'll follow the trail of that killer. It's a good thing that it did rain. The ground's pretty soft. Makes the trail easier to follow.
We've been out for almost 3 hours.
I know. I wonder if that critter knows we're following it.
Aren't you endowing it with the faculty of reason?
Maybe.
No animal is capable of reasoning.
That's where you're making a mistake. All animals can reason a little, and I know one that can reason a lot.
There's only one animal. You mean a man?
That's right, a man. A man that can take on the form of a wolf.
That's not possible.
You should listen to my wife talk. She can tell you some stories that will make the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
A man that assumes the form of a wolf, that's only legend, folk belief.
You figure it your way. I'll figure it mine. That critter's getting closer to us.
You sure?
Of course I am. We aren't tracking it anymore. It's tracking us. Maybe you've been wondering why I'm carrying 2 guns tonight. Well, here, one of them is for you.
Thanks.
We better stop. You, notice which way we've been traveling?
North?
That's right. And what lies north of the town?
Nothing. Except the old Glamour place.
That's where we've been heading. We aren't more than a half a mile away from it.
You're really serious in believing that we're dealing with a werewolf.
Dead serious. Listen. I heard something. Keep your eyes open.
I can't see anything.
Don't talk. Just shoot. Just look. Out. There it is.
I see it. You hit it.
We might as well stop. No sense shooting at the shadows. It's too far away by now. Did you notice which way we're going?
North.
Yeah, just about a half a mile towards the old Glamour place. You and me, we're going there, too. We're going to pay Mr. Sebastian a visit. Shine your light again. Yeah, that's right. There's the blood spot again. You got any doubts now where the trail ends? It's only 25 feet away from us.
Look, the paw prints end here.
That's right. And you see the bare footprints of a man. Now, do you believe me?
I guess so.
Now, when we get inside, you let me do most of the talking.
All right.
Use the knocker.
Right.
I wonder who'll answer the door, Sebastian or his servant.
We don't have long to find out. I think someone's coming.
Yes? Oh, it's you, Sheriff Craig. And Mr. Parker, what can I do for you, huh?
We'd like to come in and talk a spell.
Well, it's rather late.
What I have to say won't keep...
Well, then, come in.
How come your servant didn't open the door?
Oh, why, he left my employ.
I guess I must have missed him when he took the train.
Yes, you must have. We can talk here.
I see you have a bandage on your hand. Did you hurt it some way?
I cut it. Now, what do you want to talk to me about?
About 2 killings. And I think maybe a third.
What do you mean?
The old woman that was killed last night, Widow Brady, you didn't know her. And Matt Ryerson, he was killed tonight. And your servant, when did he die?
You're insane.
No, we're not, Mr. Sebastian. First time I looked at your hands, I knew there was something wrong about you. They're covered with hair, just like the hair of a wolf. But they're only covered at night, not in the daytime.
You don't know what you're talking about.
And you didn't cut your hand, Sebastian. We shot you when you tried to attack us tonight.
You have no proof, Craig. You're accusing me of being a shapeshifter, a werewolf. You don't expect people to believe you, do you?
I don't care what they believe. We know what you are. We're going to see that you can't kill anyone else.
You don't think that you can stop me, do you, Craig? Huh?
Look at his hands, Sheriff. They're changing.
Yes, look at me, Craig. And we shall see who you will turn.
Now, use your gun and don't it. Dead.
Are you sure?
I wouldn't be making a mistake about that. No. Sebastian is dead.
I'll never forget what I saw. Right before our eyes, he changed. First into an animal, and then as he was dying, back into a man.
You'd better forget it if you know what's wise. People aren't going to believe you now that he's dead. If he was alive and the murders went on, and then they'd believe you. But not now. Officially, I killed Sebastian in the line of duty for the murder of 3 people. Unofficially, and you and I know the truth, I killed a wolf who was the demon of the night.
Attention, please. A $50 reward will be paid for information leading to the arrest and conviction of anyone caught stealing our speakers. If you accidentally pull a speaker loose, don't worry. Just turn it in. There is no charge, and we'll appreciate it.
Spidell presents Peter Lorre, the Destroyer.
Oh, yes, I get tremendous satisfaction destroying things. Doesn't everybody? But not when you pay good money for it. That's why it's so important to look for a Spidell Twister Flex when you buy a new watch band. It is so flexible, see? You can turn it inside out. Oh, I like that. In fact, it lasts 5 times as long as old-style bands. It's beautiful, too. The finest band Spidell has ever made. Yet it costs only $4.95 for the stainless steel model, the Linesman. This one is the magnificent Florentine in 10-karat gold filled, only $7.95. See, you can twist it. You can turn it. You can tie it in a knot. But I can't destroy it. Twister Flex by Spidell.
This episode of the Baba Ghoulie Show is brought to you by Waddle's Tunes over at Channel Watchwaddle. Oh, that's where I left that bar of soap.
Hands are dirty, don't be a dope. Clean them up with bubbly soap.
Now that's some clean humor.
Ironized Yeast presents Lights Out, Everybody. It is later than you think. Lights Out brings you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the mysteries of the unknown. We tell you this frankly. So if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginative plays, we urge you calmly, but sincerely, to turn off your radio now.
This is Arch Obler. A man, a woman, and a small boy arrive in their new home. Happy day. And sometimes not so happy. First, a word from Frank Martin.
Frankly now, friends, are you asking yourself, why should I be losing weight and feel on edge and worn out? Other people feel good and have fun. Well, if more vitamin B1 and iron is all you need, cheer up. Ironized Yeast supplies both in pleasant-to-take tablet form at a cost of but a few pennies a day. With ironized yeast and its famous two-way help, great numbers of people who were short on these substances have soon regained glorious strength and energy. Today, these people can really enjoy life. Remember that name, Ironized Yeast Tablets. And now, lights out. Everybody.
$40, $50, $60, and 20 is $80, and 20 is $100. Perfectly correct. $100 rental for 2 months. And now there's the matter of a receipt, of course.
If you don't mind.
Oh, no, not at all, Mr. Cook. Do business in a business-like way is my motto. We're not a very large firm, but service supreme is our motto. Now, what did I do with my receipt book? So careless of me. In this pocket?
Oh, any old piece of paper will do, really.
No. Here we are. Had it in this pocket all the time. I'll just sit down over there and write it out for you.
Well, darling.
Oh, Chuck, it's simply unbelievable.
$50 a month for a furnished Grand Central Palace like this one. Beautiful. There's something wrong in the woodpile someplace.
Your figures of speech are a little mixed, husband. But the fact remains that $100 is the price we're paying.
Yep. Service Supreme over there is making out the receipt with his good left hand, so I suppose it's true. Oh, say, where's the draft exemption?
Sleeping there on the sofa.
Paid himself right at home pretty quickly, didn't he?
Takes after his papa.
Oh, now that's libel. I never curled up in a strange sofa without...
Here's Service Supreme.
Here we are, folks. Here we are. Money received right and proper. I hope you'll be quite satisfied here. Not quite.
Oh, I'm sure we will be. As you can see, our boy has made himself at home already.
Boy? Oh, yes. A cute little fellow. I do hope he'll be quite all right. Quite all right. Yes. Well, I must be getting along. Business, you know. Moving in at once, aren't you?
Well,
yes. You told me you were. Yes. Well, good luck, and goodbye, Mr. Cook. Goodbye.
Well, wasn't he in a hurry to get out?
Service Supreme until the moment the rent's paid, and then it's exit extraordinary. Well, I'd better go get the things in out of the car, huh? Say, I never thought we'd spend the summer in a mid-Victorian mansion, did you, dear? Dear, I'm talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why the pensive look? What are you thinking about?
That's what that man said.
What man? Oh, you mean Service Supreme?
Yes.
Well, what pearl of wisdom did he spout?
Remember when he looked at Billy sleeping there?
Sure.
He said, I do hope you'll be all right.
Yeah, so he did. So what?
The way he said it.
Oh. Say, you'll have to get some help in to clean up this place. Looks like my fraternity house used to after we threw a dance and...
Chuck!
What are you staring at?
What are you doing here?
Phew, fella, you startled us.
What are you doing here?
Oh, Chuck, he must be the caretaker the real estate man told us about.
Oh, yeah.
You
sure.
answer me.
Chuck, what's the matter with that man?
What? Look here, old man. You don't have to throw any catfits. We rented this place from Service Supreme. What's his name? Mr. Hawkins, that real estate man up in town.
Rented?
Sure. Here's a receipt. $100 for the next 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah. Well, I know it isn't much, but that's all the fellow wanted, and so that's all he got. Of course, with all due respect to your caretaker. Oh, you are the caretaker, aren't you?
Yes, I.
Oh, good. Then I can speak freely. Well, as I was saying, the rental doesn't seem like much, but after all, big as it is, this is a pretty crummy old place.
Chuck.
Well, it is. And that real estate fellow said there hadn't been anyone living here regularly for 20 years since those people, what's their name, all died. So I figured at the price.
Reynolds.
Huh? What'd you say? What'd you say?
I don't know. I'm frightened.
Reynolds, Mr. and Mrs. and Paula.
Oh, Reynolds. Yeah, they're the people that lived here, aren't they? Mr. Hughes' real estate said something about
Get out of here.
What?
Get out of here.
Chuck.
You hear me?
Now, wait a minute.
Get out.
Wait a minute.
Out. You do not
Oh,
belong
wait now.
here.
We rented this
Get out
place,
of
you know.
here. No one belongs here.
Why?
No one. It is mine.
What do you...
Mine, 20 years.
Now,
mine.
stop waving your arms
Get
around,
out.
old man. Stop
Get
it.
out. You've got
Chuck,
to
make him
go.
stop you.
All
Wake
of
up
you.
Billy.
This
You wake
place
up the
is
dead.
mine.
He's making enough
Mine,
noise.
I tell you.
Now,
You've
look
got
here,
to
old
get
man.
out. My house, mine. Nobody.
Chuck, he's sick. Catch him.
Old man. Old man.
Chuck, he's not.
No, just passed out, I guess. Wonder where some water is.
He's coming to.
Thought he popped a valve or something the way it was blown off. Give me a hand. We'll put him on that other
Take
sofa.
your hands off of me.
Huh?
Take your hands
Oh,
off
now,
of
look
me.
here, old man. We just want to help you.
Your hands off of me.
Oh, Chuck, help him get up.
No. I am all right. I will live longer than anybody. You will have to get out. You will have to get out.
Hey, now, wait a minute, old man.
Stay here.
Can you imagine that, old duck?
Running off like that.
We did get a bargain. A house and entertainment by a cracked nut, all for $50 a month.
But why was he so furious?
Don't ask me. I'm no psychiatrist. Oh, well, let's not let the old crackpot spoil things.
No.
I'll slip him a few bucks in the morning. He'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's wake up that snoozing son of ours and...
Chuck, look.
Huh?
He is awake.
Why, you little rascal, you. How long you been sitting there watching, young man?
A long time. Where are we, Dad?
I'll tell you, Billy. We're in a great, big, beautiful house where you and I and Father are going to have a good time for the next 2 months. Isn't that good news?
Well, why don't you answer your mother, Billy? Aren't you glad we're going to be staying here in the country?
Dad,
Yes, son.
please, let's get out of here. I'm awful scared.
I wonder if he's sleeping yet.
I'll go see.
Be very quiet, Chuck.
I will.
Well,
Like the proverbial cherub.
Chuck, keep your voice down.
Oh, that air of ours is sleeping so deeply it'll take Sousa's band to wake him up.
Maybe we should have let him sleep with us this one night.
And have him grow up into a lily that falls over the side of his own shadow? Oh, no, Mrs. Cook. He sleeps in that room and likes it. Anyway, he's deep in sleep, so that's that. And here I go. Boy, stretching out feels good. You know, it's going to take at least 2 bands to wake me up tonight.
Lock all the doors
Mm-hmm.
and the windows?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh, now listen, honey.
Oh, please tell me.
I am telling you. This house is locked up tighter than a hoosgow. Shutters, doors, everything. I can tell you if that crazy old coot decides to come back to continue his oration, he'll have to use a hacksaw to get in.
I wish it was morning.
Hmm?
You could sort of straighten things out with him. After all, he is the caretaker.
Oh, forget it. We rented the place from the accredited agents, and the old boy doesn't like it. Well, that's too bad. Let's go to sleep.
But, Chuck...
Oh, Anne.
But I want to know...
What?
Why should he have gotten so excited? It's been worrying me.
I don't know. Maybe because he thinks we'll mean more work.
20 years alone.
Huh? What'd you say?
I was just wondering why this place hadn't been rented or sold all these years.
I don't know.
Could it be...
What?
Nothing.
Say, are you thinking of... Oh, that's nonsense.
Is it?
Sure. Just because a house is big and old and hasn't been lived in for a long time doesn't mean that... Oh, I tell you, that storybook stuff.
Chuck.
What?
Why did Billy say that he was frightened?
Oh, he's just a little kid.
Well, isn't it possible that young children are closer...
To what?
To things that aren't of this world?
And cook.
I was just thinking.
Well, stop thinking things like that. All the screwy ideas you get in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere. Now, come on. Go to sleep. Before you give me the jitters, too. Save the ghost talk for tomorrow morning when the sun's shining. It's a little dark and visible and weird right now to be talking about ghosts.
Chuck, listen.
Music.
Oh, Chuck.
It's not a radio.
Chuck, I'm frightened. I knew something was wrong here. I knew it. The old man was right. We shouldn't have come here. We shouldn't have. I knew it the minute I saw him. I want to go, Chuck. Please, I don't want to stay here. We shouldn't have come here.
Stop it. Stop. So quiet now.
Yes. Oh, Chuck. Did we really hear it?
I felt the floor vibrating. Like it does when the organ plays in church.
It's Billy.
Yeah.
Billy!
He's all right.
Billy.
Hello, Mom, Dad.
There's no one with him.
Billy. Billy, why are you laughing like that? Why, Billy?
Oh, because I've been having fun. Gosh, lots of fun.
Oh, a dream, son. You mean you've been having a funny dream?
Gosh, no. Not a dream. Isn't my dad funny, old lady?
Old lady? Who did you say that to, Billy?
She wants me to go downstairs with her to listen to the music.
Music?
But I told her I couldn't go. Not unless you said I could go. Can I, Mom? Can I go?
Go where, Billy? Over where?
Downstairs, like I told you.
Billy, listen to me. Who are you talking about?
Son, answer your mother. Who are you talking about? Yes, and why are you staring at the foot of the bed? What are you looking at?
The old lady, Dad. Don't you see her sitting there?
Old lady?
Son.
Gosh. Can't you see her? Funny old lady. You can kind of see right through her.
Ladies and gentlemen, we leave our lights-out story of Oregon for just a moment now to look in on a cheerier scene. It's a sparkling, clean American kitchen. And the lady of the house is saying,
There. Dish is all done. House all cleaned up. Now I can do my victory garden before time to fix the children's lunch.
Where do you get your pep? I'm so worn out these days, it takes me all day just to do my housework. I'm losing weight. I can't eat properly. Even washing the dishes tires me out, and there's no help to be had.
No, we have to help ourselves these days. And that's what I did when I felt the way you do. I found out I needed more vitamin B1 and iron. So I took ironized yeast tablets. They supply both vitamin B1 and iron, you know.
But how could just those two things make so much difference?
That's easily explained. When you don't get enough vitamin B1 from your food, you may lose your appetite, not eat enough to keep up your weight and strength. And when you don't get enough iron from what you eat, you may be weak and pale and all in.
And ironized yeast supplies both vitamin B1 and iron?
Right. So if you're short on these vital substances, don't wait. Go to your druggist this very night and say,
"A bottle of ironized yeast tablets, please."
And now back to tonight's Lights Out.
Cold, dear?
A little.
Let me get this around you. Kind of a wind blowing in from someplace. We should have stayed upstairs.
No. I couldn't stay up in those horrible bedrooms. I couldn't.
All right. Now, don't get upset again. Here we three are, and here we stay until daylight.
Won't it ever get light again?
Oh, now, honey. Just a few more hours. Gosh, kids are wonderful.
What?
Billy. Look at him there. Sleep as if nothing had happened.
He doesn't know that anything did.
Lucky kid. Oh, you just wait until that old son starts doing this stuff. I'm going to turn this house upside down until I find out what...
Chuck.
Huh?
Wait.
Something?
I don't know. I thought I heard something sighing as if... That horrible music again.
It's here. An organ, right in his room.
But where? Where is it coming from? Where?
I don't know.
Oh, I can't stand it. I can't. You'll make them stop it.
Hurry,
Organs
dearest,
playing.
please.
No one
Control
hears.
yourself.
Stop it.
You'll wake up the boy,
Stop
honey.
saying that.
Mom.
Billy, he's up.
Mom, come to me, Mom.
Yes, Billy. Yes, Billy boy, yes. What is it?
That funny music. Where is it coming from, Mom?
I don't know.
But, Mom...
It's all right, son. Stay here by me. That's the boy.
Won't it ever stop?
Won't daylight ever come?
I wish we wasn't here.
Chuck, it's getting darker.
It's all right. Just the dark before the dawn. You know.
Dad, it's getting light.
And the music's dying away.
Light. But what a strange light. Anne, is there something wrong with my eyes?
No. I see it, too.
Do you? The wall over there. The light growing on it.
Oh, Chuck, I'm afraid.
We've got to get out of here. Quickly.
Yes.
No. Wait. That wall. The light's gone through it. Beyond it. There's a room there now. A room.
Yes. Yes, I see it, too. Oh, Chuck, what is this?
Mommy, what are you afraid of?
And there's someone sitting in that room.
Yes.
It's a girl. I see her so clearly. And yet, somehow it isn't real, is it?
Look at the way she's dressed. So strangely.
So clear. And yet it's more like a picture on the wall. No depth. The flatness of the picture.
Chuck, look. There's a man coming into that terrible light.
By George, it's he.
What?
Don't you recognize him, the old caretaker?
Yes.
But now he isn't so old.
Oh, get me out of here.
No, wait. We don't dare go. Not yet. Pictures on the wall, and yet not pictures.
He's going closer to her.
I see it.
Hello, Paula.
He's talking.
Oh.
And yet he hasn't substance, flesh. I know he hasn't.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Elderson.
Yeah,
Pictures
Paula.
talking as if... Am I insane?
No, Mr. Elderson, Mother doesn't like to have me talk with you.
Because I am a gardener.
Oh, Chuck, Billy.
Don't talk.
Whatever's the reason, Mr. Elderson, you shouldn't come in here when Mother's away.
Bless your mother.
Mr. Elderson,
I say bless her. I've got nothing, so I'm not good enough.
please go.
Your papa, before he died, promised me money.
Plenty money for all I did for him.
I'm sorry you didn't leave it.
Mother.
It wasn't in the will. How could she give it to
Your
you?
papa, Mr. Reynolds, he promised me.
Reynolds, they're the people that own this place.
But Mr. Hawkins said they'd all been dead for 20 years.
You would drive me out too, eh?
No, please.
If I had the money your papa promised me, you wouldn't tell me to go. Maybe you would love me.
Don't.
But
Please.
you could love me anyway, Father Reynolds. I make you love me. Make you love me.
Daddy, what is it? Moving pictures? You frightened me.
The light fading out.
And they're going with it.
What have we seen, Chuck? What?
Wait. The light. It's coming back.
Don't look, Billy boy. Here, put your head against Mother.
Anne. Look. He killed her.
Oh, Chuck.
Standing over her. That horrible look on his face.
Chuck, another woman's coming in,
The mother.
turning toward her. Chuck, he's going to kill her, too.
I can't move.
I want to scream. I can't. Do something, Chuck. He's killing the mother, killing her.
What can I do? I can't move. Gone. The light goes, and they go with it.
But we saw him kill them both, mother and daughter.
Billy didn't see.
No. He buried his head against me so tightly that... Why, Chuck,
What's the matter?
he's asleep.
Asleep.
Yes, so quietly against me. It is as if someone out there didn't want him to see that horror. Only you and I. Oh, Chuck, what was it that we saw? What?
Whatever it was, we're getting out of here. Quick, give me the boy.
Wait.
Who the...
The old man, the one we just saw kill...
The one you just saw, what?
You killed them. How? Why, I don't quite understand. But we saw you kill them. Mother and daughter.
So?
Was it real?
Yes. I killed them both. Yes, I killed them. And why not? The young one gave me no love. The old one no money. He promised me, but when he died, they gave me nothing. Killed them, yes, killed them with my own hands. I killed them.
Chuck, the police.
Yes,
No.
I'm going...
No police. There were no police then. There will be no police now.
But murder. 2 women.
They know. I know. And now you know. No one else will ever...
What do you mean?
You hear? They understand.
That horrible organ music.
Their music. Night after night since I killed them. Now you know why I didn't want your hair. Now you know why I must kill you.
Kill?
That gun!
Yes, with the gun. Them 20 years ago with my hands. You with this gun.
You crazy...
No, Chuck, you'll kill you. Look out!
Kill you all.
Give me...
Kill you all.
Give me that gun. Give it to me, I tell you. Give me that...
Look out! Chuck.
I'm all right. Dead. I had my hand on the gun, and then it seemed to turn in my hand toward him. As if someone...
I saw.
Billy, is he...
Still sleeping.
Sleeping through all that?
Blessed sleep.
The wall! It's falling out! The wall. There's the organ. The organ that was playing. And women. 2 women sitting at the keyboard.
No, Chuck. Don't go closer.
Oh, no.
Chuck, what is it?
No. I was wrong, Anne.
Wrong.
Not women. Not anymore. 2 skeletons in dresses.
Oh.
I think I know now. He killed them 20 years ago. then walled up their bodies in there with the organ.
But what we saw, the music, how could it...
Anne, look.
They're crumbling.
Bones into dust. He's dead. Now they can have peace.
Well, Mr. Obler?
Well, Mr. Martin? If you want a rational explanation of the return of the dead, don't expect it from me. I conceive the stories, I write them, but if you want facts, don't expect them from me tonight. I suggest the Encyclopedia Britannica or, a visit to that old lady around the corner who says she talks with ghosts. As to whether the dead can return, once again I say we don't know, and perhaps it's better that we don't. Which reminds me of the future and reminds me of next week. Have you ever heard of alter ego, Frank?
I don't know what ego is, all right, but what's the alter?
The answer to that, after you've had your say.
Friends, if more vitamin B1 and iron is all you need to help you look and feel and act your best, get ironized yeast tablets. Now, there are cases where a rundown condition may be due to other causes. And if you have any doubt, by all means consult a physician. But if your trouble is simply vitamin B1 and iron deficiency, remember, ironized yeast has been so successful in so many such cases that it's sold on this no-risk, money-back basis. If you don't begin to eat better, to look and feel much stronger, peppier, and more alive, the cost of the first bottle will be refunded to you in full by ironized yeast, Box IY, Rahway, New Jersey. Now, Mr. Obler, what's that about alter ego? Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that the play you did a number of years ago with Betty Davis, which caused such a furor?
Right. Good memory, Frank. That was a long time ago, and so many of my friends here in Hollywood, including the illustrious Betty D. herself, have asked me to do it again, that we're going to do it once more. Alter Ego, the story of a girl's other amazing self. But that's next week.
Yes, tune in next Tuesday again for Arch Obler's eerie story, Alter Ego. And if you need more vitamin B1 and iron, be sure to try ironized yeast. But remember, there's only one ironized yeast. You'll know it instantly by the yellow and orange package and by the big letters IY on the container and on each tablet.
It is later than you think.
It's only the beginning of the white shoe season, but it's never too soon to start caring for your white shoes to keep them in good wearing condition. So clean your shoes with Energine Shoe White. It's made with the very whitest pigment obtainable. Only the very whitest. It spreads over shoes easily, dries evenly, helps keep your shoes looking their whitest and best longer. So buy Energine Shoe White.
This week, guest quacking on the Baba Ghoulie Show, Waddle the Duck. And here's Waddle. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watchwaddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda.
Grab a Coke, cup or bottle, don't forget to watch Waddle.
Arts in Hungary, where he played a variety of characters, including romantic leads and even some Shakespeare. He arrived in America in the year 1921 and soon began to appear in the theater and in a few two-reeler films. Before long, Lugosi was offered the lead in a new play called Dracula. Although he didn't realize it at the time, this was to become a role which would drastically change the direction of his career as an actor. Based on the 1897 novel written by Bram Stoker, Lugosi successfully created a character that would become a trademark for the rest of his life. The play eventually became a film, with Lugosi once again the creature of the night, compelled to drain the lifeblood from unsuspecting humans. Bela Lugosi's Dracula brought new meanings to the word horror. It sent chills down the spines of filmgoers everywhere. His performance, in fact, was so convincing that Hollywood executives, as well as the general public, could only accept him as an actor in horror films. And it was not long before Lugosi began to resent not being able to display what he thought were his true acting abilities. But the die had been cast. Bela Lugosi was Dracula, even to himself in later years. He began to parody his own character and would often conduct interviews while lying in a coffin. He became so absorbed in his creation that his final wish was granted when, upon his death in 1956, he was buried in the costume that he had made famous the world over. Although Dracula brought Lugosi fame and fortune and a strange kind of notoriety, his other theatrical accomplishments were completely forgotten. Without the challenge of other roles, he became depressed and eventually turned to alcohol and drugs, which ultimately led to his death. In the final years, Bela Lugosi was convinced that he was never truly appreciated. But for the rest of us, there is a legacy of film that continues, even in modern times, to touch a certain nerve of primitive terror in us all. And for that, Bela Lugosi, the immortal Dracula, will live forever.
The Baba Ghoulie Show is brought to you by OTR Halloween Holidays.
And now, tonight's presentation of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Tonight, we bring you a transcribed story of a man caught in a mine shaft, trapped by his own conscience. So now, starring Torrin Thatcher, here is tonight's suspense play, The Digger.
Carton was not a tall man, not over 5'7", but the attitude of determination he had acquired the day before, when he had unexpectedly sighted his quarry, seemed to have added at least a foot to his stature. As a result, he walked through the dirty, narrow streets of the native section that morning without incident. No one blocked his path. No one cursed as he passed by. When he had walked approximately 6 blocks from the river crossing, where he had to park his car, he turned into a small open doorway.
Dear Bonner.
This is the place they call Winky's, boy?
Dear Bonner.
Where's your head man?
Thank you, Ngobe. Sir, you do not wish to drink here? There are many places better for gentlemen across the river.
I didn't come here to drink.
What other reason could you have for honoring my establishment, sir?
Well, I'm told you rent rooms upstairs.
You're a policeman, sir?
No.
Sir, you have been misinformed. Now, please, you go, huh?
Then you don't have rooms here.
Only 2, sir, where my family and close friends may rest. So you
I
will...
suppose he could be a close friend of yours by now.
Who, sir?
Well, the man I'm looking for. I got a job for him.
No one here seek work, sir.
Well, let him tell me.
But I am telling you, sir.
Now, look. Yesterday afternoon, I caught a glimpse of him in the marketplace, and since then I've spent quite a bit of money to learn that he's staying here. He's tall, has a bad leg.
Are you willing to spend more money, sir?
I am.
You sit down, sir. Rest yourself. Ngobe.
Yes, mister.
You will see if anyone know the man this gentleman seeks. What is his name, sir?
Fabian. Roger Fabian. They used to call him the Digger.
Upstairs in a small, musty room almost directly over Carton's head, Fabian sat on the edge of a narrow cot. He had aged in the past 2 years. His stomach had soured, and he had grown thin, so that now he scarcely resembled the man once known as the Digger. For several weeks he had heard that someone was asking questions about him, trying to track him down. And several weeks ago, if he could have paid Winky what he owed, he would have left this place and gone north. But he never seemed to have enough money, so now he waited, knowing the man would find him, wondering what the man wanted. Near Fabian, standing at the window combing her hair, was a woman about 20. She turned toward the door when Ghoulie knocked.
Yes? Who is there?
Ghoulie.
What do you want?
Mr. say wanna come. Man here to see him.
Tell him I'll be... No, tell him to come up here.
Dear Buona.
Well, what's the matter with you?
You will have to go away.
Now, where'd you get an idea like that?
You do not eat, and at night when you are sleeping, you cry out.
Oh, and that means I'll be leaving you, huh?
You have been hiding. What you were hiding from has found you. Now it take you away.
Good thing you don't make your money telling fortunes. We'd starve. Carton. What are you doing here?
Hello, Digger.
Come in, come in. Here, you sit here where it's clean. I'll squat on the floor. Tisha, get us a drink. Say, what would you like, Carton?
Oh, nothing for me, thanks. Still a bit early.
You sure?
Yes, quite.
Well, if you won't mind, hurry it up, Tisha.
You like a cigarette?
Oh, very much, thank you. Here, I've a light.
You're hard to find, Digger.
Oh, so you're the one that's been looking for me, eh? I'd heard someone was.
Mm-hmm. Been a long time, hasn't it?
2 years. 2 years, 7 weeks.
You haven't forgotten.
Could you have?
I don't know. It depends on what really happened down there.
I told the court of inquiry what really happened.
Yes, of course you did. How long have you been living here?
Long enough.
I suppose you know how it looks.
You know how it feels?
Oh, I'm sorry, old chap. I didn't mean to.
You think I live here by choice? I couldn't get a job after I left the mine. Not a job anywhere. I tried for over a year before I gave up.
I'm sorry.
Yes, everybody's sorry, including me. Poor old Digger had a bit of a rough go, didn't he? Took 30 men down with him. Things got a bit touchy during a cave-in, and only old Digger makes it back topside.
You know the mine was closed right after that?
Yes. Should have been closed before. It was already worked out.
Well, perhaps not, Digger. They've opened it up again.
They've what?
I received a letter from Sandy McGregor. You remember him.
Sandy? Sure.
Now, look. He'd gotten some backing somewhere. Found tracings of another vein, most likely. Well, anyway, he asked me to look you up. He wants you to come back. And seeing you like this, well, naturally, I think you should.
No, I couldn't. Not to Tabora.
Well, what happened wasn't your fault, man.
I know it, but no one else does.
Well, Sandy wouldn't have made you a firm offer.
How much?
5,000.
5?
Well, why not? There's no other engineer in the union knows that mine as well as you do.
Know it like my belly.
And you've had experience with the natives up there, too.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, nothing really, but... Well, after the cave-in, when they decided it'd be too dangerous to recover those bodies, the natives put some sort of a silly taboo on the mine.
5,000, eh?
That's right. Now, what do you say, Digger?
I say no.
Oh, but good heavens, man, you...
Carton, I have nightmares. I see those men trapped down there waiting for me, expecting me to come back and lead them out.
You won't get rid of your dreams in this pest hole, Digger. Believe me, it'll help to go back. And if things don't work out, man, you...
Well, it's about time. Where's the drink?
Mister say no more without money. And what you owe.
Well, now imagine that, Carton. And I only owe the few lousy quid. Imagine that, will you?
Digger, I purchased a truck from McGregor. Now, someone's got to drive it up for him. Now, if you like, I can have it at the river crossing tomorrow morning.
I don't know.
I'll get you out of here. Maybe your last chance.
It would be better.
What?
It would be better for you to go back to this place.
Oh, you've been listening.
Seems she cares more about you than you do for yourself.
Dear Buana, it's true.
Well, let me have your answer, Digger. It's been already 2 weeks since he asked me to find you. Now, you won't wait forever.
2 weeks. You started looking for me just 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's quite a while to wait when you're anxious to get into production. I know he won't wait much longer. Now, what do you say?
This woman would make a fine fortune teller. You buy me out of here, and I'll go.
It was normally a pleasant 3-day trip to Tabora. But for the digger, his liquor supply suddenly cut off. It was a nightmare. Twice he had to stop for several hours while he fought to control his nerves. But by the time he finally reached the floor of the valley that led to Tabora, the worst was over. Late the fourth afternoon, remembering what Carton had said, he swung the truck wide around the native village. Then a few minutes later, he was driving down the hot, dusty street that separated the 4 frame buildings of the Tabora mine.
Hello, anybody here?
Yes?
Sandy. Sandy McGregor.
Who is it? It's the digger.
Why, what's the matter? Didn't you recognize me?
Look now, of course I did. I just had to wait till I got close up.
You haven't changed, Sandy.
Neither of you. And I'm very glad to see you, digger. Oh, is that the truck Carton bought me?
Yes, and she's loaded with supplies.
Good. We'll unload it in the morning. It'll give you something to do.
Haven't you started working the mine?
Well, I can't until I receive the permit. Come along inside.
Carton thinks you've found a new vein.
So I have. Should go about 600 a ton. I've got some more samples. You take a look, see what you think. Your leg been giving you trouble?
Oh, no. Muscles get tight when I don't use it. That's all.
Too bad you didn't get entirely clear that day. But even so, you're a great deal better off than the others who were down there.
Yes. Anyone else here with you?
The geologist seems to know his job. Oh, here we are. Clark, this is Fabian. Roger Fabian.
Clark?
That's right. I was just about to fix myself a drink. You'll join me, won't you?
No, thanks.
Oh, come now, Fabian. Surely you're thirsty after your long trip?
No. I've decided to stay off it for a while.
Huh? Think you'll be able to?
Why, yes. Why?
I've always heard once the stuff's gotten hold of a man, it took real guts to leave it alone.
Oh.
Well, how about you, Sandy?
No, not now. I'm going to take another look around for Miggy. Miggy's our newest recruit in the village, digger.
Oh.
He disappeared right after luncheon today.
Carton said you were having some trouble with the natives.
Nothing to it except threats. They don't want us going down into the mine. Big taboo. I'll be back in a few minutes.
So you're the famous digger. I've heard a lot about you.
Oh? From Sandy?
No, he scarcely has mentioned you. Sure you want to have that drink?
Quite sure.
Well, you've changed since Joburg.
Oh? Did we meet there?
Oh, we had a mutual friend, Trudy Morgan. Remember her?
Oh, yes.
You've been gone about a month when I checked in. Well, would you like to see your room? It's right across the hall from mine. Doesn't matter if you snore, though. Rats keep me awake most of the night anyway.
Rats here?
Well, the place is overrun with them. And they're hungry, so watch yourself. Well, everything seems to be in order. Except the lock on this door.
Oh, I won't worry about that.
I would. Someone might sneak in while you're sleeping and slit your throat.
Well, it's not very funny, Clark.
It wasn't meant to be. Now, come along. We'd better get your gear in before dark. all you have?
All I brought with me.
Hello. Wonder what they're up to.
Clark, Digger?
Over here, Sandy.
You find him?
No, he's gone back to the village.
Well, looks as if I'll have to don the apron tonight.
We'll not be eating here.
Oh, why not?
I went over toward the village. That's no ordinary ceremony they're holding. They're being whipped up into something big. Lots of cooler being passed about.
For our benefit, perhaps?
I'm afraid so.
You mean they might come here to attack us?
I'm not going to stay to find out.
Where we go?
Down into the mine. That's the one place they won't dare to come after us. Now, you and Clark go ahead, Digger. I'll get some blankets and things from the house.
Well, what about the truck and your supplies?
If we don't get out of this alive, we won't need them.
Oh, Digger. I wasn't going to tell you this before you got settled, but I think I should now.
Yes?
I've taken an oath to kill you.
What?
I intend to do it within the next few days. Unless, of course, the natives do it for me. Well, come along, Digger.
You are listening to The Digger, tonight's presentation on radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is no signature on a Valentine. Not that our danger-loving insurance investigator is opposed to romance. It's just that the detective's profession calls for a pragmatic approach to life, if he wants to go on living. That's why, no matter how lovely a lady may be, and no matter how attracted to her Johnny Dollar may be, solving the particular case he's working on always takes precedence over sentiment. And the case he's working on right now calls for courage as well as caution. And it's a baffling mystery thriller you'll enjoy following clue by clue as you listen for yours truly, Johnny Dollar, Monday through Friday evening on most of these same stations.
And now we bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Torrin Thatcher, starring in tonight's production, The Digger, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
By taking advantage of the digger's bad leg, Clark managed to stay several paces in front of him as they walked toward the mine. This prevented Fabian from asking questions and pressing Clark for answers. Clark himself was the big question. The digger was not entirely convinced that Clark was serious, yet there was nothing humorous in Clark's threat, which had been made in an unemotional, completely fatalistic way. He was still undecided when McGregor caught up with him. Together, they reached the hoist and climbed into the cage. The moment before they started down, they saw the natives set fire to the building they had just left. Then they lowered themselves, and the digger began to remember the nightmares and remembered this mine was also a tomb.
This will set us back.
Set us back more if they catch us.
There's a bottle wrapped in that blanket, Clark. Will you break it out?
Yeah?
Yes.
How far are we going down, Sandy?
To the lower level.
The lower level?
Yeah, that's what I've been working. I've got a spot fixed up back near the cave-in. You'll be more comfortable there.
Here we are. You look a bit shaky, Digger. Better take some of this.
Yes, all right, thanks.
There, that's more like the old Digger. How about you, Sandy?
Go ahead.
No, it won't bother me being down there.
Well, it shouldn't bother any of us.
That's so? How about it, Digger? Would it bring back some nasty memories?
Why should it?
Well, last time you were down, you barely got out alive. You were lucky that day, weren't you?
Clark,
Oh, you're right, Sandy. I'm sorry, Digger. Didn't mean to remind you.
You didn't?
No, don't imagine I did. Here, you better take another drink. Wash away the ghosts.
Well, what are you doing?
You hang on to that bottle, Digger. I'll help Sandy with the other things.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
I'm not sure.
It's smoke.
What?
It is smoke. Coming from up top.
They're trying to smoke us out.
Yeah, well, that'll take a lot of doing. Come on, let's get back where we can rest.
They started back then, their graphite lamps lighting the way, casting shadows on the stone walls ahead of them. The digger remembered each foot of the level, each beam that supported it and kept the earth from caving in on them. Once he would have remembered them as old friends, but not now. Then they rounded a sharp turn and came upon the fallen tons of shale and loose rock that had caused the death of 30 men.
Did you see that, Clark?
Yes.
What was it?
A rat. Filthy little rat.
Digger, you'd better go easy on that stuff.
Let him alone, Sandy.
You let him alone. You're the one's been after him.
It's all right, Sandy. Don't you worry about me.
Come on, let me have the bottle, Digger.
Yes, sure. Here you are.
Thank you. No. Sit down. We'll be here all night anyway.
Cigarette, Sandy?
No, thanks. We'd better not smoke down here, just in case.
Whatever you say. Digger, did you know all the men that were in here that day?
No, not all.
But most of them?
Yes.
I saw a letter you wrote to the wife of one of them after it happened.
I wrote a good many letters.
Yes. This woman lived in Suffolk. Has 2 kids.
No.
They're about 11 and 14 now. You know who I mean, Digger?
No, I don't know. Well, was she Henry's wife? Yes, I wrote to tell her, to try explain how it happened.
And how you managed to get out when no one else did. She believed you, but I didn't.
What?
No, wait a minute, Clark.
You wait. I've been looking for him for over 6 months. I'd almost given up.
Why, Clark? Why?
Don't you know? Has your brain rotted that much?
What?
Can't you remember his last name?
No.
Henry's last name. He was your friend.
No, I don't.
You sent his things back to her.
I sent them too. No, you can't be...
Clark. Henry Clark, Digger.
No,
You're Henry's brother?
That's right.
Why didn't you tell me?
It didn't matter to you.
No.
Why did you lie to her like that, Digger?
No, I didn't lie.
You lied.
No, I didn't
Then
lie.
and at the inquest.
Now, stop it, Clark. He was cleared at the inquest.
Because there wasn't anyone to testify against him. But there is now. And he's right here, sitting beside me. You remember Trudy, don't you, Digger? The woman in Joburg?
Yes.
She told me about you.
Yes.
All about you. You have nightmares. The same one, over and over.
Clark, please.
Trudy told me she used to come into your room when it was at its worst. You'd be yelling, should have warned them.
No.
Why didn't I warn them?
Clark.
And while you were saying it, you'd throw your arms and legs about as if you were fighting your way through hell.
Now, Clark, even if it is true, why not forget it?
I'll forget it when he can sit here on my brother's tomb with a clear conscience. Without being sick afraid like he's been since we entered this place. And you know what he's afraid of, Sandy? Of the men buried here.
No.
Isn't that right, Digger?
No.
Isn't that right?
Yes. Yes.
And you're afraid of them because you ran. You left them behind. You saw the danger signs. You knew it was going to give way. But instead of taking time to warn them, you ran. Isn't that true? Isn't it true?
Yes, it's all true.
Okay.
I've known you a long time, Digger. I've seen you do things that took more than I had in me.
I couldn't help it. Believe me, I couldn't help it. Cave-in's the only thing that I've ever been afraid of in my life. Fire, explosions, gas. Yes, I was afraid of them. But not like a cave-in, where I'd be crushed to death or die fighting for air. Please, Clark, I couldn't help it. Believe me, I couldn't.
No. It's all right, Digger.
You speak for yourself, McGregor.
Now, Clark, you're not going to keep after him.
You want me to shake his hand? Show him the meaning of brotherly love, that it?
There'll be no harm in it. And a lot of good for both of you.
You go to...
We may all do just that if they keep on pouring smoke in here.
They sat quietly for a while, waiting. And then, just as McGregor had feared it would, the smoke reached their level and came rolling down the shaft. And with it, running in front of it, were all the animals who had made their nests in the abandoned mine.
What time is it?
About 4.
It'll be daylight in another hour. The natives will stop then. Go home to sleep off the cooler.
What was that?
Did you hear something?
I don't know. I thought... Listen.
Another rat.
Look. Look there. At the turn. There were 4 of them.
Listen to them. They must be coming down here to get away from the smoke up top.
Let's take a look out toward the cage.
Good Lord. Hundreds of them. Keep your lamp on them. They're afraid of light.
Sandy, look back there toward the cage.
More coming in.
They're not moving. Come on, we'll get back.
What?
We'll go back where we were. Come on.
You're going to have us trapped in here, Sandy. We're going to be cut off from the cage. We've got to make a run for it now.
Take it easy, Clark.
Take it easy. There are 1,000 rats out there waiting for us. How are we going to get out?
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about keeping alive right where we are.
Look.
They're moving this way, Sandy.
We've got to make a run for it.
We can't run.
You mean he can't run?
I mean we're sticking together.
Then none of us will make it. Well, I'll die here.
Shut up, Clark.
We'll make a nice meal for them. For their families and their families' families.
Shut up! Sandy, you two had better go now, while there's still a chance.
No, we'll stay. The air should begin to clear in another hour.
How do you know? You don't know for sure the natives are going to give up?
Sandy, your only chance is to try and reach the cage. If you make it and it's clear up top, send the cage back down. I'll try for it then. If it's not clear up there, it won't make any difference anyhow.
Stop talking and let's move.
But if we leave you alone, Digger, they might...
They will anyway, in a few moments. Go on, Sandy, go on. There's a shovel over there, and I can hold off until you get up top.
Listen to him, Sandy. Do what he says.
All right, we'll try.
Go on, Sandy. Oh, Sandy.
Yes?
One thing. In case you get through and I don't, there's a woman I'd like her to have my things. Will you send them to Carton? He'll know where to take them.
Yes. Good luck, Digger.
Put it on your dirty little beast. Get out of there.
A few minutes later, Clark and Sandy McGregor, having fought their way to the cage, reached the top of the mine and stepped out into a clear blue dawn. Then, with an almost automatic gesture, because they had said they would and not because they expected the crippled Digger to make it through the rats, they sent the cage back down. Then they waited.
How long's it been?
Long enough.
Yes. Clark, he made it! He made it! Come on, help me pull him up!
They looked down the shaft, and as the cage neared them, they could see rats clinging to the top of it and to the ropes on each side. Then the cage was clear, and they saw what it carried.
No. Oh, my God. No.
Look at him. They must have been all over him for 1,000 feet.
They buried him as the sun rose full above the horizon. A few days later, Sandy wrote another letter to his friend Carton. The day after receiving it, Carton drove again to the river crossing, parked his car, and crossed into the native section. Before he reached Winky's, where he was to give the woman a very small package, he had been pushed, cursed, and spat upon.
Suspense, in which Torrin Thatcher starred in tonight's presentation of The Digger. Next week, we bring you a story of a boy who ran from a prophecy but couldn't escape its deadly promise. We call it The Strange Prophecy of Bertha Abbott. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is directed and transcribed in Hollywood by Anthony Ellis. You have heard The Digger, written by Charles B. Smith, especially for Suspense. The music was composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Featured in the cast were Herb Butterfield, Charlie Lung, Ramsey Hill, Stan Jones, William Byoff, and Parley Bear. Now a public service message from CBS Radio. In this second half of the 20th century, war could happen in a hurry. Nuclear fission and long-range bombers have brought America within striking distance. And unless we're on our guard, an aggressor could deliver devastating blows. To help guard America, enlist in the Ground Observer Corps. Sign up for the silver wings that mean you're doing your share to man our vital aircraft spotter observation posts. Write or telephone your nearest Civil Defense Center and volunteer.